There we go. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Amadio, for taking some time out and answering our questions for the media class. First question I'm going to ask you, how long have you guys been together as a band? How long have you been playing?
This band started in 1989, so it's going to be, what, wow, 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
That was the year I graduated from high school.
Yeah, that puts it in perspective,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you like same core guys? Have you had any members come and go?
Well, we
or?
used to have a keyboard. There's only 3 of us now.
Okay.
We used to have a keyboard player. He was with us for, I guess, 10, 12 years. He was part of that, and then he left, and then we just continued as a 3-piece.
Okay, because one of the songs on there has got quite a piano-based
Yeah, that's
opening.
right. Surprisingly, it didn't really cause a lot of problems when we left, because on bits like that, what I would tend to do when we played it live would be, I would actually, where the keyboard parts were most prominent, I would actually play his parts on the guitar.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then sort of like move between, so on that particular song that you're talking about, I play his parts during the verse, and then I'll play my parts during the chorus.
Okay.
So you kind of move between the two. You know?
Yeah.
So it's not a problem really.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
No, it's weird because you wouldn't always think that guitar and piano
Yeah,
can have quite
different
different
I wasn't
sounds.
really conscious of they didn't do that in a conscious way. It's what
Just worked. Yeah. I suppose make more sense with guitar than say the drums.
Yeah.
Start with the drum solo.
Yeah, that would be a bit more difficult, I must say. Yeah.
All right. So first question that the class came up for you was, how would you describe your music?
I think it's what they call today classic rock,
Yeah.
which would be sort of rock that's sort of like got its roots perhaps in the 70s and 80s, as opposed to sort of like any forms of new metal or any of that nonsense, you know. But so yeah.
Okay.
Which is basically new metal. I mean, it's basically the most overdriven guitar you can have, and some guy shouting over the top. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So should we agree?
More or less. I do like some new stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I know what you're saying. So what bands then would you say you guys inspire you, or that you guys might try to be similar to in sound?
No one really as such. It's just that you know. I should say that you can generally call us sort of like as a genre, it'd be classic rock. But
Yeah.
I don't think we particularly sound like anybody else. We're certainly not conscious of that when we play.
Okay.
We just try to be ourselves. You know, we've all got our people that we like. You know, people that we grew up listening to. You know, it's, in my sort of influences, things that I like and still like would be, you know, really older stuff. Really, you know, sort of anything from sort of like Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix. The person I admire the most would be Gary Moore.
Okay.
An amazing musician.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. He's the person that influences me the most.
Yeah.
It's the person I can still listen to a lot. Not all that blues nonsense that he did, but the stuff he did during the 80s, you know, when I was young.
Yeah.
It's the same as we all are, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, we go back to...
Absolutely, you can't get away from, you know, the stuff that you liked when you were young, you just can't get away from it. Nothing ever replaces it, does it?
No, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song from the album? So the album in question is the one that
It changes, but probably the one I like consistently the most would probably be the last song, which is a ballad, surprisingly.
Okay.
Which is Night and Day. I like that very much.
Well, do you know about any favorites from some of your other band members?
Again, it changes. I think probably the one that we would all say over a long period of time we would perhaps say would probably be that song. But there's lots of it changes, you know.
Yeah.
It's like anything else, you know.
Okay. Where do you guys gig and rehearse currently?
Gigs wherever you can get them. There's no sort of like set place really.
No.
Is that we do tend to travel quite a bit. Favourite places to play? Well, my favourite place to play would be Cox's Yard in Stratford.
Yeah.
And that's just stopped now, you know, which is a real bummer, that is.
Yeah.
That was a fabulous venue. Yeah, just really anywhere. There's no sort of like home venues in there. No, there isn't. It would have been there until it closed down.
Do you tend to, like, as far as rehearsing, that sort of thing, do you tend to have, like, what's sort of the locality?
Well, at the moment we're rehearsing in a a place in Coventry.
Okay.
For years and years and years, probably 12 years, up until a couple of years ago, we rehearsed always in a place in Leamington, which was great, but then it closed down. It wasn't a case of us moving because, you know, we didn't like it. We just moved, and you know, we used to rehearse there every Monday night, and I did so for 12 years.
How often do you guys rehearse now then?
Now we're probably doing it about once every 2 or 3 weeks, and there's, because one of us has moved from Stratford to, he's living in Evesham at the minute, so
Okay,
he's got,
it's
just, yeah, that's sort of the only reason. It's not through any of the...
Okay. When you guys rehearse, would you be okay with having some students film as long as they were out of the way and stuff when you were rehearsing?
Oh, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'll obviously talk to
check
the
with the
guys,
others,
I don't
but
think
yeah.
they'd mind.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be wireless, so they wouldn't have cords running over your
Yeah,
cords
yeah.
and stuff. And they wouldn't be recording sound per se anyway. So gigs, do you tend to do gigs in sort of like the general Midlands area? You
Yeah,
go-
we won't go any further
you don't
than
go
that.
much further than
just
that.
from the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. Would you guys be, as a band or individually, be willing to be in a music video, other than, say, gig rehearsal time? Or say...
Yeah, I don't
perform-
see why not. Yeah, absolutely.
If you were, yeah, if it could be worked out with a
If
time.
it could be worked
Okay.
out, yeah, absolutely.
Good. That was 8. 4. Would you be willing? I just asked that question. 5. How would you be willing to be represented? So, if you think, I don't know if you're familiar with, say, like Foo Fighters, but
Yeah.
they tend to dress up in drag in quite a bit of their music videos. No, I'm
Yeah.
not suggesting that my students would be asking you to dress
No.
up in drag. But what sort of things would you guys be? Do you think you and the others would be willing to?
In terms of what kind of scenario would
Yeah.
be, it doesn't, that wouldn't bother us. The one thing we wouldn't do is dress up.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we wouldn't do. So if someone says we want to do this sort of scenario, we'd go with it, but,
Yeah.
but we wouldn't have anyone tell us what we were to wear.
No, you'd want to wear your
That
own
would
stuff.
just, that would be the only thing. But
Okay.
in terms of like,
Storylines.
yeah,
and-
no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We have done these sort of things before, you see, so
Okay.
not surprising.
Do you watch many music videos yourself, or like, are you from? I know you're familiar with what they are, but
Yeah.
do you watch any?
Yeah, yeah.
Would there be any music videos that you would like, sort of your music video to be like, or?
No, we're pretty open-minded about that.
Yeah.
Interesting enough is that the singer, his son did a video with us, because he was a media student
Yeah.
as well, going back 3 years, and he sort of like it, and he did 2 with us. He did once we did the sound check and he filmed it and all of that, and he put something together. Then he did another one which is a bit more involved, and it really is that, yeah, we wouldn't go, oh no, we're not going to do that. We wouldn't. It's fine. You know?
Okay.
Whatever works, really.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
And I think the last question then is, who would you say is your audience? What kind of group
Yeah, that's
of
interesting.
people?
Surprisingly, very broad.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be people up to my age and older. But surprisingly, you get there's a lot of younger people like it. You know, there's plenty of people, sort of like late teens, early 20s, who actually like this sort of thing, which surprises us. But you know, this idea of that sort of that type of music, you know, sort of like what some people might call 80s rock or whatever, is that it's still very popular at the moment with younger people. I don't know why. What I do, because you know, is that you know, it has that attraction, and I'm not totally sure as to why it is, but so it is broad, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, anything from me younger, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to go, because obviously they want to be able to choose their own
Absolutely.
audience, but it's good to know who. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I suppose as well the venue, like you've mentioned a couple of times, you play in at some like nightclubs and stuff. So obviously you're getting like 18s and over.
Yeah.
As a main. Is that the kind of venue you tend to play, or do you do other?
It varies, you know.
Is
I
it
mean,
more varied?
venues can be quite different, you know.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of venues is that we'll just have people of varying age groups that go there.
Yeah.
Other venues will be like all older people
Yeah.
or younger people. If it's a young only sort of venue, that wouldn't suit us.
Yeah.
It's got to be quite open. You know,
Yeah, it's going to be a bit mixed.
Yeah, if it's, you know, like a young venue, you know, those sort of, you know, those sort of young people who would go to places like wouldn't like what we're doing, and we're too old anyway, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much for your time.
No
That's
problem.
been great.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions you'd like to ask that I didn't cover? No? Very good.
Okay.